All right, let's see if I can do this in one take. Is it rolling?
It is.
Oh, okay. All right. Most people at one time or another have used commercial air travel and have family members or friends who have flown somewhere on a commercial flight. Even if you've never flown before, media portrayals of commercial air travel on television and in films give people an idea of what it's like thousands of feet to be up in the air above the ground. Because of this, an article from the American Journal of Optometrology explains the peace of mind that air travelers have during flights relies on a series of protocols that keep you safe. Commercial air travel is a safe way to travel because of the safety mechanisms in place. As a pilot myself, I've worked with checklists, seen a multitude of backup systems, and complied with the constant flow of airworthiness directives, typically abbreviated as ADs, that come from the airplane manufacturer. Over the years, there have been high-profile air accidents, but there are safety protocols in place to protect passengers and crew, which reduce the likelihood of air travel accidents from occurring. To show some of the safety protocols in place, I will discuss checklists, backup systems, and ADs. The first area I'd like to discuss is the use of checklists. This checklist here is from a Cessna 172, and this is the type of airplane that I'm flying currently, one of the few planes that I fly. And this is what pilots use when you get in the plane from start to finish. You go through each of these sections here, and it helps keep everyone safe, and it makes sure that you don't forget anything, because it's very important that you don't forget anything when you're flying. So, you know, you want your pilot to use a checklist. I've had people fly with me in the past and say, that's great that you use it, but then others are saying, you're using a checklist? You know, why? You know, but I say it's for safety. It's because if you go through your checklist and you don't forget anything, then you're going to be safe. So checklists are used to ensure that proper protocols are followed. FSS history tells us that pilots use checklists in preparation for flight, during flight, and at the end of flights to ensure safe procedures are used. These checklists ensure that pilots know what is needed during flight processes. Specific procedures are used during flight to ensure that the flight is safe based on the operations of the aircraft. By using checklists, pilots are sure to do everything needed to follow the procedures and protocols, which makes the flight easier and safer. They also help facilitate communication between pilots and the crew members, such as those in the tower and at the airport during the flight processes. Part of the protocols include specific instances of communication, so everyone involved knows what pilots are doing at all times during the flight. The checklist makes sure pilots don't forget to check in when it's required. Another area where checklists are frequently used is by crew members. The International Civil Aviation Organization explains that checklists are used by crew members to examine aircraft before and after flight to ensure safety. These checklists ensure that all aspects of aircraft are safe and in good repair before and after every flight. If there's a problem, it can be identified when the aircraft is still on the ground, so it doesn't put people at risk during flight. They also ensure that any problems that come up can be addressed immediately. Flights can be halted to repair the aircraft if the problem is identified. Without the checklist, problems in the aircraft might go unnoticed and cause some serious problems during flight. Checklists are also important to the tower crew members. An article from the website Airline Safety explains that tower crew members use checklists to maintain safe travel with multiple aircraft in the airspace simultaneously. These checklists help promote effective communication with aircraft and help ensure that when many aircraft are in the same airspace, tower crew members are following proper protocols to prevent accidents. Just like communications checklists used by pilots, the checklist for tower crew members make sure that everyone is communicating properly, so everyone knows what is being done during the entire flight process. A critical area of safety during flight is the use of backup systems. Backup systems are put in place to provide security in case of errors or failures to maintain processes. One backup system is the use of a co-pilot. And let me get my backup system slide going here. Every commercial aircraft flight has both a pilot and a co-pilot for the entire flight. During flight, the co-pilot can step in whenever is needed, and in the unlikely event that a pilot becomes incapacitated, the co-pilot is trained to take over flight and land the plane safely. Co-pilots also provide another set of eyes and hands during the flight. If there's a problem that comes up during the flight, the co-pilot can identify it in the event that the pilot overlooks the problem. This ensures that the problem can be addressed quickly and effectively so that the passengers and crew can be safe. This is one example of a backup system. In planes that I fly, you have, for instance, the batteries, you'll have a backup battery so that there's always a redundancy when you're flying, and that's always good, and that's again with co-pilots and pilots. When you have backup systems, if something goes down, then you have something that will take over, and then that ensures safety. Computer and electrical systems are another area of backup. They have fail-safe systems in the event of failure. Technology can fail, and a fail-safe can keep the technology operating without interruption. When the systems are working correctly, the fail-safe is not needed and the passenger never knows it's there. If there's an error or failure, the fail-safe kicks in, so quickly the passengers still know that there was a problem to begin with. The flight continues safely even with the error. Since failed technology can result in a crash, the safety of air travel requires fail-safes in technology within the aircraft. This keeps the errors from preventing the aircraft processes depending on technology from stopping, which would prevent pilots from being able to continue the flight safely. A final area of importance in airline safety is the use of ADs. These airworthiness directives come from the manufacturer to ensure the safety of the aircraft used by commercial airlines. Since manufacturers build the aircraft, it is their responsibility to ensure that they are safe to be flown by pilots and have passengers in them. ADs identify immediate repairs when needed so that the airlines can address the repairs and keep the aircraft in good condition for flight. Sometimes the need for repairs can come from manufacturers when updates are implemented into manufacturing standards. Many of these updates are put into place when the manufacturer identifies a weakness in the aircraft. The updates are intended to correct the weakness to make the aircraft safe for travel. In addition, ADs help airlines maintain the highest level of quality of aircraft for flight. ADs keep aircraft in good repair and help an airline identify when an aircraft needs to be retired. In conclusion, commercial air travel is safe due to the safety measures the industry has implemented. When the use of checklists, backup systems, and airworthiness directives, with those uses, the statistics show that even though there are accidents, the industry works to protect the safety of passengers and crews. Commercial air travel is well regulated, constantly checked for compliance, and has a good track record of safety in transportation. I'm not just saying this because I'm a pilot, but I enjoy aviation, and my slide here. But I enjoy aviation, and I think commercial air travel will continue to grow in its popularity. The future looks bright as new safety measures are put into place, ensuring your next trip to see Grandma in Sioux Falls will be safer than ever. Thank you.